This video follows on from the part 1 video about nodes to show some of the actions specific to nodes. We start by showing the retrieval of coded segments by opening nodes, and then we show different ways of visualizing nodes in coding stripes, maps, and charts. Then we look at linking and grouping nodes, and we finish up by looking at interrogating nodes using a coding query. Linking a node to a reference is the process of coding in NVivo, and as shown in the first part of this video, nodes can be created manually from selecting references and automatically by autocoding. In addition, you can link an existing node to a selected reference, either by dragging and dropping, as I'm doing here, or by choosing the code option from the right-click menu. Opening a node is the process of retrieving coded references, which lifts all the references so far linked to a node out of their source context so you can view them together in the detail view. I'm not going to dwell on this view right now, as coded references and the actions that can be taken on them are shown in the video about that component. But I will talk about coding stripes now, as they are ways of visualizing nodes within detail views. Currently I haven't got any coding stripes on view, but if I go up to the main menu, I can choose to turn the coding stripes on in various ways. I'll take all nodes coding first of all. This shows in the margin area all the nodes that so far code the data in this detail view. We're still in the natural environment node at the moment, so this is showing us all the other codes that also code these coded references. I can also ask for coding stripes when I'm in a source. Currently, we're viewing the nodes recently coding this source, which is the 7 most recently applied nodes. As well as all nodes coding that we looked at earlier, we've also got other options to choose from. Nodes most coding will show us the nodes that code most of this source, and nodes least coding show us the nodes that code the least amount of data in this source. The code density bar gives us an overview of the density of coding throughout the source. The darker the stripe, the more codes co-occur, and hovering our cursor over any position in the code density bar shows us which codes are sitting at that position in the source, regardless of what we've chosen to visualize in the stripes. We can also act on the nodes that we're seeing in the coding stripes view. By double-clicking on a stripe, will take us to that node across the whole dataset, showing us all the coded references so far linked to that node. We can also visualize nodes in other ways. This project map, for example, is showing us the final coding scheme structure for this project. It's worth realizing that you can always access the coded references from a particular node directly from the map. So if I double click on a node, it will open up the detail view for that node, showing me the coded references. We'll look at coded references and maps in more detail in the videos about those components. Nodes can also be visualized in charts. You can see by right-clicking that there are several different charts to choose from. I'm just going to show you a couple. First of all, I'll choose to chart node coding. This generates a bar chart showing the percentage coverage of each source that is coded at the chosen node, in this example, the infrastructure node. Coverage is the proportion of the whole source that is coded by the node. You can change the properties of the chart from the chart menu, but we look at charts in more detail in the video about that component. Another chart is the explore diagram, which puts the chosen node in the middle and shows all the components, in this example sources and cases, that have at least one reference within them coded at the chosen node. Nodes can also be linked to memos or other nodes. Linking nodes to other nodes is the purpose of relationships, which we discussed in the first part of this video. So I'm just going to show you linking this node to a memo. I'll link it to an existing memo, and I'll choose the project protocol memo, and that will automatically open that memo. Then I can see the memo links appear in the column. It's also possible to group nodes into sets or search folders. In this project, we've got one set called Nodes for Coding Comparison, which contains shortcuts to selected nodes. We can add and remove members at any time and create new sets whenever we need to. In the Search Folders area, we've got a folder for all nodes, which NVivo creates for you to group all the nodes that have been created anywhere in your project. We discuss creating sets and search folders in different ways in the video about that component.
Let's just finish up thinking briefly about interrogating nodes. We might be interested when visualising nodes in this way, in the margin, with the coding stripes, to notice that certain nodes appear together in the data. Here, for example, natural environment and real estate development. We might be interested in interrogating whether this pattern is specific to this particular source, or whether it's also present in other sources. So I'll just go and show you a coding query. This coding query has been set up to retrieve only coded references that have been linked to the two codes I was interested in, real estate development and natural environment. We can see that we get quite a lot of results when running that query, and we can get an overview of those results here. If I jump back to the results in Maria and Daniel's transcript, we can see that indeed the segment that it retrieved, which is highlighted here in yellow, is indeed coded to both those nodes. There are many other actions that can be taken on nodes, and many of them are accessible by right-clicking on a node. If I right-click on any node, I get a whole long list of different actions that can be taken.